Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coffee Break. I don't know what my... This isn't amateur attack. Whatever. I don't even care. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coffee Break, and welcome back to the Midwest Amateur Esports League StarCraft Edition. This is going to be a week one of the tournament. I believe it's a 6-week tournament. All games are in the, or I should say, all series are in the best-of-3 format, spawning on the top right-hand side of Entombed Valley. It is going to be our blue Protoss hero of Vulcanix. And on the bottom right-hand side, we saw him at the most recent MAeSL, which is recent as in, like, a few months ago. Guess that's not all that recent at all. It's going to be Flapjack. I just realized once again, since I'm streaming, I don't have like anything ready to stream because I like just got off work and rushed home, and now I'm just hoping to once again get all this done because I have to open in the morning. So I'm hoping I'm not going to be able to like midnight cast in these. I don't know how long the games are. So good old PvZ, Entombed Valley, a nice map. Of course, everybody loves Entombed Valley. In fact, I really don't know many people that have a gripe with Entombed Valley, which is actually pretty impressive, all things considered. I think the map pool right now for this tournament at least is pretty darn good. It doesn't have that stupid like Newkirk district map or whatever it is that's a close by air spawn. It is just like the worst map in the world. Like seriously, Blizzard, what the hell? Flapjack going to go ahead and lay down a 14 pool. I'm a little surprised to see that he isn't going hats first. A lot of players do prefer to go for the pool first, though, but Entombed Valley is quite a big map. He is going to find out fairly shortly, though, that it is not cross-spawn position and probably be a little bit happier that he did go for that 14 pool. Even though Protoss, as a whole, as a race, don't really have that many really strong rush strategies. I mean, the most thing that you have to be worried about is a cannon rush of some sort, but other than that, you're not going to see an attack really any time before... anytime before, I guess, the 9-minute mark. I mean, technically, the 4 gate at 6:30 is when you can start getting pressure, but I mean, nobody's gonna do that really. So I'm always personally a little surprised to see Zerg players go for the spawning pool. But once again, a lot of time, that's some familiarity that just people feel a little bit safer doing that. So that's what they end up doing. We're going to be having a Forge first out of Vulcanix, which is perfect since there was that spawning pool first. He did get that scout off very early on, so he knows exactly how he wants to play that. Getting the Forge, leaving an opening into his main base. Of course, let's see if we can get that. There we go. Yeah, the opening right there. I don't know. Is this? Okay, so this is completely walled off. So that was actually on purpose. I was gonna laugh a little bit at that, but apparently that was totally on purpose, and I just missaw that wall. I've been having problems walling off lately as a Protoss player. Like, I literally had a Zerg player laughing at my wall off and proceeded to just mass Zergling and completely roll over me because my wall looked like a mentally handicapped dog made it. I mean, that doesn't even make sense, and that's how much sense the wall made. Flapjack, of course, going to be going for that very fast third base. That we're at about the 430 point, only about 30 seconds later than the fastest you can really go. Everything standard smandered with that. Natural expansion going to be finishing up. No queen down there yet, no queen ready, so just going to be making the queen at that hatchery. Needs to make sure, oh my goodness, I said, and I continue to say this, constantly break down these rocks as soon as you physically can, because if there is any sort of pressure going into that third base, you need to be able to reinforce it very, very quickly. I said it time and time again at the MAeSL, and time again, players did not break down these rocks to their third door, and time again, Zerg players got punished by it. So I would heavily advise Flapjack to definitely go over there and break those the hell down. Break them down. Break down this wall. Tear down this wall. Jelly donut. By the way, if anybody actually got the jelly donut reference, I apologize because that was really bad. Zealot going to be running out across the map, getting a little bit of scout off. I can't remember if there was a probe in here at any point in time. Yes, so Vulcanix does know about the existence of this third base, and he's just gonna go, okay, so Flapjack, you're not gonna try anything crazy off of 2 bases. You're not gonna do I believe it's FXO and Stefano as well. I believe Stefano likes to do it as well. There's some strategies, I will say, where it's a 2-base tech into 3 and 4 base, and that way you just get your infestors out a little earlier, and the Zealot actually in a pretty nice position, going to be able to pick off a Zergling or 2 right there. While the Zerglings do attempt to break down the rocks. Now, when I said break down the rocks, I meant do it away from pressure. And if you have a Zealot that is actively killing off your Zerglings, excuse me, while you're trying to break down the rocks, that's a good time to take a couple of extra seconds to take care of the Zealot first. Zealot actually managing to get 3 kills. Now the Stalker running over. This is something you'll see pretty much every game in Protoss versus Zerg, is the Protoss player sending down the Zealot and Stalker to quote-unquote harass the third base. I mean, harassing is almost even too strong a word, but these two units are actually doing quite a bit of damage. The Zealot going to be able to tank some damage for the Stalker here. Both these units going to go down, but not before getting quite a few Zerglings. So, I mean, normally these units lost for relatively free. That's a pretty good pickup there for Vulcanix, all things considered. Going up into that 4-gate robo, Vulcanix is super standard. That is a very safe way to open up your Protoss versus Zerg, and what it allows you to do is quite literally everything. You can do anything you want. I say as Flapjack does get a nice big round of drones in there, 13 drones just spawning out for him. Vulcanix off of this is going to be able to do, you know, a Zealot Sentry Immortal all-in. He's going to be able to do Zealot pressure down at the third base while the Spine Crawler morphs in. This really, I can't see doing too much damage to the Queen here. The Spine Crawler getting close to completion, and these Zerglings as well. These Zealots actually would probably be best off running straight past that and going for the Queen. There we go, going to be going for that Queen. That Queen, oh, almost getting dropped by the Zerglings there. These Zealots need to pull back just a little bit so they are not caught by that Spine Crawler, but no, they're going to go ahead and take out the Spine Crawler because we have more reinforcing Zealots coming in to the third base here. That Queen, very low on health. That Queen, I can't imagine, oh my goodness, that Queen is going to get away, except for the fact that she is now off creep and down at 2 health. The Zergling, pardon me, the drone's now under a little bit of pressure. Drones are going to get away because what's Vulcanix going to be targeting? He's going to be targeting the hatchery there. That Queen did indeed go down. These destructible rocks, guess what, are not broken down. The third base is going to be going down. Vulcanix takes a nice early advantage here in this game here. 9:30 into the game. Third base already dead. Vulcanix off of this can very safely expand into a third base, and that is probably what he's going to be doing. A couple more Zealots are going to be morphing in over here just to try to stop these Zerglings from being able to take down the pylon. Zealots going to be going into the natural expansion. Really not all that much back here to defend. 7-6 Zerglings and dropping a Spine Crawler trying to finish up. 24 more Zerglings coming out of the field, but without roaches, this is going to be kind of a rough spot for Flapjack to be in. Going to be losing a lot of drones here. We do see that he had a nice drone lead, which is going to be one small advantage he had in his favor. But these Zealots just going to be doing work, and more Zealots and a probe going to be reinforcing from that pylon. +1 armor on the way, +1 weapons already done. Very vital for an attack such as this. These drones are in a good spot, but not good enough because guess what? These Zealots kind of counter drones fairly heavily. A couple of Zealots warping back into Ire there, but more Zealots coming in to join the fray over in that natural expansion. Queen going to go down there as well. So many drones flying. Flapjack actually in a lot of trouble. Here come those roaches that he so desperately needed about 2 minutes ago. Even a sentry coming up to join in on the mix, going to be able to force field off that ramp, stop the roaches from being able to retreat. Oh, needs to protect that sentry. Oh, doesn't matter though because a lot of roaches just now spawning out, and that aggression is going to be ended as a third base is taken by Vulcanix. So, Vulcanix doing a lot of damage here. The only, oh, unfortunately that observer going to go down, otherwise he would pretty much know exactly everything that's going on. It's a little shame Vulcanix didn't take a slightly earlier third base, maybe instead of that last warping of units, that last warping of Zealots and Sentries, taking that Nexus instead, because that would have put him at a huge advantage. That Nexus would have been about 20 seconds earlier. And that can make all the difference in the game. That being said, though, I feel like Vulcanix did a great amount of damage there. At one point, Flapjack was above in that harvester count. Let's see, 14 workers killed by Vulcanix in that, in that whole engagement there, and the third base sniped. And at this point, Flapjack really should be ahead in that spending tab, but we can actually see Vulcanix pretty much staying even with him, despite the fact that he's been down on a base technically. Now the rocks are broken down. Not that I actually think that those rocks would have really helped all that much in that engagement. And in fact, I guess... am I back? I think I am back here. Okay, I don't know what the heck happened. I apologize for that. Anyways, as I was saying, I don't even know what I was saying, but Mutalisks are out onto the field now. They're going to be flying over this army, which is made primarily of sentries, which, guess what, is not all that good against Mutalisks. Some great force shields going down to stop the roaches from advancing on this army. Immortal is going to be a great help. Stalkers running straight by the Mutalisks, which means these Mutalisks are going to be able to do a lot of damage to this army. And I was hearing noises from somewhere. That was really weird. Anyways, MAeSL is going to be able to do quite a bit of damage to that army. Flapjack is still very, very low. I mean, yeah, he's sniped a lot of sentries. I just don't think it's going to matter that much. Where is that noise coming from? I'm getting feedback, and it's really bugging me. Vulcanix is going to be pushing up the natural expansion ramp. I don't even know what I was saying. But MAeSL is still out onto the field now. They're going to be flying over this army of sentries. Gosh, where is that noise coming from? Oh my goodness, I don't even know. Anyways, Vulcanix is going to be running up into that natural expansion. We all know what's going to happen here anyways, despite the feedback there. There we go. Gosh, dang it, finally killed that. And that means that Vulcanix is going to be running up into that natural expansion, taking out the MAeSL, taking out the roaches, and even, was that a Void Ray I saw? No, it's a Warp Prism coming over to help reinforce this army. GG from Flapjack. Vulcanix is going to win game number 1 in this best of 3 series. So